All right, welcome back, everyone. 26 minutes before the top of the hour. It's our pleasure to bring in one of the good friends of our show, one of the most impactful personalities in politics today, and a talk radio giant. Mark Levin is with us right now, and he's author of a brand new book. Once you pick it up, you will not be able to put it down. It's called Rediscovering Americanism. Mark, welcome back. Congratulations
#1 on
the launch.
Amazon.
You are #1 right now. What does it feel like?
It feels, feels like I'm transitioning. But I appreciate it very much. Thank you. It's great to be here. I love you guys.
I just got that. It took me a second.
I don't know what that means.
Right.
Mark, you're the perfect person because of your legal background to ask you about the president's unanimous decision yesterday before the U.S. Supreme Court holding up most of the travel ban. This is a big win for the White House, isn't it?
And the American people. The President of the United States has access to information that judges don't. I mean, just because you go to Harvard Law School or Yale Law School doesn't mean you know everything. And one of the things you really don't know much about is how to secure the country, how to protect the American people. I don't know if they teach that stuff in Ivy League school or not. But judges live in very cloistered environments. They have a couple of clerks. And the idea that a judge, or even the justices, can substitute their opinions for the reality that a president sees is absurd. Prior to this president, it was understood by all courts that a president has plenary power over the issue of immigration, right? Then we get Donald Trump as president of the United States, and the left forum shops with these left-wing Democrat federal district judges in blue states who turn the law on its head. They're lawless. The Supreme Court has brought it to a great degree back center and has said, wait a minute, the president of the United States can decide this, but we're going to make some exceptions. And they make some exceptions for, blood relatives and that sort of thing. And I would say this to the court. You got it 90% right. Now, butt out of this issue. It's none of your business. And just because you're justices doesn't mean you know everything. But yes, it was very, very important, that decision. Now we need to take it in the fall one step further.
Mark, the president tweeted this. He said, very grateful for the 9-0 decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. We must keep America safe. And it's interesting that so many judges before the Supreme Court got this case did not vote in favor of this. Why do we have a unanimous decision by the Supreme Court? What were the other judges looking at?
Well, isn't this amazing? You got these federal district judges. You got one in Seattle. You got the circuit court, the Ninth Circuit, the Fourth Circuit. You have another judge in Maryland. They came up with different conclusions, the Fourth Circuit and so forth. And then we have the Supreme Court. I think the bigger question to me is, how can it possibly be that when it comes to fundamental rights and fundamental decisions about who has the power to do what,
right,
that you can have some courts over here and some courts over here? And the answer is, we have a judicial oligarchy. 40% of the federal judiciary has been appointed by Barack Obama. You've got a bunch of Clinton holdovers, too. It's the same thing with the elected branches. And they're not judging. They're imposing their personal policy preferences on the people of the United States. And this, by the way, is one of the reasons why I think it is crucially important that we understand this force of progressivism, we understand what they stand for, and we understand that they do not stand for a lot of things that we do stand for.
Mark, Ainsley just quoted a brand new tweet from the president from yesterday. You say that the president of the United States, even though he has taken some grief, even from members of his own party, the president should not stop tweeting. He should keep tweeting all day long.
Well, I don't know that he should keep tweeting all day long, but he should keep tweeting. I don't think you do anything all day long, except me, eat. But that's a whole other problem. Here's the thing. As I got to think about this, I was thinking, why are the liberal media so angry with his tweets? Because he goes over their head.
Sure.
Now, some of us get a little concerned with some of the tweets, the contents of some of the tweets, but so what? Compared to what the media do day in and day out and lie to the American people with their left-wing agenda day in and day out, if he's wrong 10% of the time or uses the wrong word, who really cares? Now, I worked for Reagan for 8 years, and I campaigned in 76 and 80, and he had a unique ability to communicate, and he had to go over the head of the media with speeches that he could give. He was a superb communicator.
Right.
And I got to thinking, Donald Trump does the same thing in his own way. And if he doesn't tweet, how in the world is he going to get his message out? So I say keep tweeting. Just be careful about what you tweet.
Right.
And don't be pushed or bullied into not tweeting.
And don't be afraid of tweeting out. Rediscovering Americanism has now been released. And one of the things, Mark, that is in your book that I think is so good is it gets away from politics and talks about the founders and foundation. And he talks about what went into the Declaration of Independence. And you do it. You say, hey, John Locke, why are we American? What makes us unique? Go back to what the Founding Fathers were building off of when they constructed the country. What did you discover, or what are you trying to relay in this book?
Well, that's a very good question, and the answer is this. We ignore academics and intellectuals at our own peril, because it is they who decide what kind of politics we're going to have, whether it's Marxism, whether it's capitalism, whatever it is. And people, their eyes roll over and say, let's talk about politics, or, I want to get a sandwich. What I'm saying is, if we ignore this debate and just blow off elites, we're going to lose the country even more than we have. So what I've tried to do here, and what I have done here, is I've dug into our own foundational principles. We deal with it on the surface. We talk about liberty and property. Well, what does all that mean, and where does all that come from?
Right.
And we need to enthusiastically talk about it and endorse it. On the other side, we have this force of dark, gloom, bleak tyranny, and it's progressivism. And they get to define the terms for us, define society, define the news. Who are these people? Who are their philosophers?
Sure.
Why do they believe in what they believe? And I truly think this book isn't going to change the world, but if it changes a few minds or opens a few eyes, that's a very, very important thing. If you'll give me 1 minute,
Sure.
I'll just explain this. Here's an example. I believe in constitutionalism. They believe in collectivism. We believe in individualism. They believe in conformity. We believe in private property. They don't. We believe in prosperity. They believe in redistribution. We believe in separation of powers. They believe in this big administrative state. We believe in eternal truths. They believe in an ideological social engineering. We believe in stability. They believe in constant transformation. I'm almost there. This is important. We believe in real science. They believe in social science. We believe in the rights of man. They believe in the power of government. We believe in a moral order. They believe in situational ethics. We believe in liberty. They believe in growing authoritarianism. We believe in education. They believe in indoctrination. Now, if you take those ideas, which I discuss at length and won't do here, and apply them to what goes on today, Obamacare, their position on the border, their outrageous kook rhetoric about all the people who will die if they don't, retain Obamacare and so forth, these things will start to make sense. That is, our principles are the principles that have propelled humanity into the Enlightenment and Reformation ages.
Right.
Their principles are regressive, are absolutely dark and bleak. And I think it's crucial, and I'm doing it here, that we take on their elites, that we take on their so-called thinkers,
right, because
the principles are with us.
Mark, you need your own show. And I'm going to try to get you on the radio and make you successful. I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. Congratulations on the book. It is enlightening and it's educational, and everyone should pick it up. Thanks, Mark.
Congratulations,
God bless.
Mark.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
All right, 17 minutes before the top of the hour. Coming up straight ahead. You've seen him contemplate his future staring out the window of the White House.
Yes.
Now Joe Biden, don't wake him, has a new perch to think about, a run in 2020. Yes.
And bad news for people fighting to get the minimum wage increased. They just found out they're going to get